This is Sky Sports 1.
Sky's Premier Sports coverage is presented in association with... Night football.
Less than 5 months ago, he cracked a goal in the European Cup final. They said he was past his best after that, but Fabrizio Ravanelli has proved them all wrong and set the Premiership alight. Back from World Cup duty, ready to fire the borough again tonight. He doesn't look very Italian, does he? Wears the sharp suit. Fabrizio Ravanelli and Middlesbrough. And there's a good case for them picking up the mantle that was Newcastle's. They're the new entertainers in the northeast. If they're not scoring goals, they're conceding them right now. There's always something happening when Middlesbrough are around. It's a hotbed for football right now as well, the northeast. It's 19 years since all three clubs were in the top flight together. And what timing? What's special about tonight is that this is the last Roker Park derby ever. Sunderland move at the end of the season, so they'll want to make the night really good. The Monday night football comes from one of the most famous football venues in the country. Roker Park tonight, live from the FA Carling Premiership. It's the northeast derby between Sunderland and Middlesbrough. And there's a rare old battle going on in the northeast for supremacy right now. It's not easy for Peter Reid competing with the other two, who seem to have endless amounts of money. But one thing's for sure, any Peter Reid team will compete. Is that fair, Andy?
Yes, I think if the one thing you can guarantee you're going to get from Peter Reid's team, it'll be commitment and determination, and they certainly not give in. 1-0, 2-0 down, you can bet your life that Peter Reid's team will continue to play and continue to graft and work hard for the manager.
Well, this is our third live Premiership game of the weekend. We started at Old Trafford.
He should be 133 to 1 brace, I'll tell you, not a goal scorer.
Now, what about the Opta Index? Much movement this weekend?
Quite a bit. I mean, quite a bit. Obviously, every week it changes. Sometimes what you have to remember on this, because it's your last 6 games, Richard, if a player's had a bad game or a bad start to the season now, and his last 6 games have been better, they can suddenly shoot in to the top 10 and even to the top 3 or 4 of this Octa League.
So a fairly poor start and not many points.
Yeah.
At this stage of the season, you're not concerning yourself too much about?
No, not at all, no. And it's the way you can get points, obviously. Good passes for attackers, shots on goal, headers on target, goals, of course. If you miss the target too badly, you'll lose points. I mean, it's only fair that that should happen as well.
The attackers then, let's have a look who's leading the way.
Well, this will surprise a few, I think, in the respect that he's moved in. But again, this is a good example because one of his poorer games against West Ham earlier in the season has now dropped out of the Opta Index. And, of course, his good performance when he scored over 1,000 points against your beloved Coventry.
Should he be in that company, attackers?
Well,
Juninho?
Yeah, we contacted Southampton and asked them quite clearly, is Matt Le Tissier regarded as an attacker or a midfield player? And we were told by Terry Cooper he is an attacker. So, attacker he is. Well, and Efani Koku, of course, on the back of Wimbledon's fine form, is sneaked in at number 9.
So that's the top 10 attackers. The top 10 midfield players, dominated by Liverpool again.
Just a bit. Just a bit. I mean, look at that. 5 out of the top 10. But there again, that's the question again. You posed it about Matthew Le Tissier. I posed it about Patrick Berger. For me, at the moment, every game I've seen him play, I would regard him as an attacker, certainly not a midfield player. But it's no surprise that he's in there because he's played so well. And this is his 6th game at the weekend. So now he's got that huge total of 1,024 points. He got about 790 points. What tape am I on, Richard? I keep losing track.
At this stage, I've no idea. Find one.
7.
Let's go with it.
But the various ways that he... although I didn't think he was at his best against Manchester United, and I'm thinking, you know, I thought he was fairly quiet, particularly the first half. But with the Opta Index, there's all sorts of ways you can... Runs like this. This would be regarded as certainly a big point scorer, a shot on target. What you can also do, running with the ball. Anything over 10, 15 yards, you're earning points. If that's regarded as a near miss, it's a point scorer. You know, this long run would earn him good points, all this sort of thing. But not as much as had he kept control of the ball. Again, whether it's regarded as a dribble or run, I'm not so sure, but certainly it would be a near miss. And again... Dribble, run and near miss, probably. More points. And, of course, header on target is very much a good points earner. And that's how... he would have earned his points. Jason McAteer was in the other list. Stig Inge Bjorneby in this list. Top 10 defenders, led still by Frank Leboeuf, who's been there all season, hasn't he? Well, it's such a great start to the season, and one wonders, you see, now it might start, and Frank's good games in the early 1, 2, 3 opening games of the season might start to drop out, and will start to drop out, and it'll be interesting. But Dominic Matteo is still there. Stuart Pearce has been the big mover. He was the top point scorer. He was the top point scorer of the whole weekend, Richard, this weekend. Even scored more than Matthew Le Tissier. And he's in there. And the goalkeepers. David Seaman, the biggest mover this weekend. And I think he'll be, well, Mark Crossley, good to see him. Well, they're not winning games for us, so Mark Crossley must be in some form, hasn't he? Well, he's playing well, obviously, making plenty of saves and getting himself plenty of points. Again, and... David Seaman up into second place, the biggest mover, you say, this weekend? Yeah, the biggest mover this weekend. OK, mine's back on the game tonight. Middlesbrough against Sunderland at Roker Park. Peter Reid is a great man for doing his homework. Yeah. He's confronted by Ravanelli tonight. How is he going to stop him? Well, it's not only Peter Reid that should be doing his homework. I think footballers do their homework. Fabrizio Ravanelli would have started playing this summer, and all centre-backs and defenders in the country would be saying, I think, should be saying, what do we do? What are his strengths? Where are his weaknesses? How do you play him when you play against him? Certainly, I used to do that. When you were playing against a centre-back, you would always say, is he left-footed? Is he right-footed? Where does he look uncomfortable if you turn him? Is he good in the air, bad in the air? And I think players have to do that, and they've done that with Ravanelli. And the one thing they will have noticed, Richard, is don't allow him to go on his left foot, because he's absolutely lethal. I mean, he announced it in the opening day with that goal and that smashing penalty he smashed past him. But this is a great example. As it comes across, I mean, Richard Shaw hasn't done an awful lot wrong, I have to be honest here. But players are going to have to send him more this way, try and edge him more to his right, because it's only a little gap. But such is his quality. Look at that. Unbelievable. You know, and he's done that. And then again, same game. Now, what I'd be expecting is that defender to start edging this way. So that Ravanelli, he can only go either there, Richard, or there. But what you don't want him to do is to take it like that. The gap's there. I mean, that's tailor-made for him with his quality. And a great save from Oggy prevents another goal. Again, Anyway, look how he opens himself up. And that not a
all left side, isn't it?
All left side. Again, look at this. This is unlucky because what happens here is that good run in there, I think it might be Robbie Mustoe, just attracts the defender. And because of that, look at that. Ravanelli sort of just does that and smashes it in the bottom corner. And even free kicks. I mean, he came close against Arsenal and then against Moldova. I mean, that's the quality of the man. Against Arsenal, Richard, he was able to play it in that corner. And here against Moldova, well, he just does that in the other corner. And that is quality. So, defenders tonight, Sunderland, right foot.
We'll keep an eye on whether that happens. Fabrizio Ravanelli.
I'll get the blame. He'll smash one in with his right foot from about 30 yards tonight.
What's happened to Middlesbrough?
You're talking defensively.
Great going forward. I'm talking defensively. Yeah, they've lost the last 2 and they've conceded 6 goals in the process.
Yeah, you remember we were talking the exact same period, 7 or 8 games into the season last year. Middlesbrough, from recollection, had the best defensive record. They came up on the back of a great defensive unit, gave nothing away. Started last season like that. Started to ship goals around about Christmas, New Year period and continue to do so. Now, they've been without Pearson for 6 or 7 games. I don't think that's helped them. But what will concern
He
Brian
is back
Robson,
tonight, of course,
he's back tonight, and that will help them. But if you pick 3 centre-backs to play for you, the one thing you expect them to do is win headers, not concede too many goals from crosses, and clear up any long balls that come 60, 70 yards. I'm not going to stop these too much, Richard, because look at that. The 3 centre-backs are there. So they should be able to dominate. They should be able to do that. Opening day of the season, they don't clean it up. Now, if I'm a manager, again, Liverpool 3 goals, all of them. Look at this. The ball's in. You know, the 3 centre-backs are stretched across the edge of the 18-yard box. They don't clear it. John Barnes scores. And even Robbie Fowler's goal, Richard, they've lots of men back, but when the ball's tossed in, you know, Robbo will expect his defenders, 3 6-foot-plus centre-backs, to win these balls.
And Pearson was one of those, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. I mean, I'm a little bit unkind here. Having seen it now, I'm not so sure what they could have done about that. But even here, I mean, you watch this. The ball's played wide. It's just dinked in there. Look at that. 3 of them, there they are, and they're only spread over what? What would you say, they're 10 yards?
It's not much more, is it? But they concede, do they?
And, would you believe it? And he goes, almost a free header, and he concedes. Now, that's crosses. I mean, look at this. Long ball, hopeful ball. 3 centre-backs should be doing that. They should be clearing it up. They shouldn't be conceding goals with that regularity for this type of thing. Near post corner. It's all right, it's in there, but with the height that they've got there, they should be dealing with it. Another one. I mean, this, again, it's just they don't deal with it, the throw-in. It's turned back in. There you go. Across there, looking for offside. Doesn't come. And they go. And I think, you know, that would concern us.
Sunderland share the best defensive record in the league with Manchester United. So what are they doing right?
Well, let's go down. Let's go down to the table because I think what we've got, what they are is disciplined and organised. I don't think there's any doubt about that. So let's see what they face tonight. I've already put how I think Middlesbrough will play. They've got that 3 and the 2 wing-backs. I think Mustoe and Émerson, Barmby, Juninho, and, of course, Ravanelli. Peter Reid tonight is going to go in with a 4, and it will be a 4. Don't make any bones about that in the midfield. They're going to go in with 3 tight in midfield, Richard. They're going to go with 2 wingers, and they're going to go with Paul Stewart up front in the zone. The one thing they'll be is very organised. This back 4, you won't hardly ever see it like that. They'll be tucked back in, they'll come up and down as a unit, they'll drop back in as a unit, they'll be supported by these, dropping back in, and they will also be supported by these. So, as the night goes on, and if they have to defend, Richard, they will almost be 4-5. And what they will have to do, the biggest thing for the back 4 to deal with will be runners. Will be Barmby and Juninho. But I don't expect to see this happen, for players to go in there like that. He likes his team to be solid and organised, Peter Reid. He will say to them, I think, OK, you have to be aware of these runners. Émerson even coming in. But you have to be aware, and as they make their runs, you have to pick them up. But don't allow big gaps to appear along the back 4. Otherwise, they'll get picked off. And that's the way they'll do that, ably supported by these 3. Big job for 2 people tonight, the 2 wingmen, Agnew and Michael Gray. If they can, and this is a good tip, watch for it, if they can push these 2 back like that and create a 5 against 3, I think then they will look to get this over. And Alex Ray, who I think will be given licence to go forward and get up and in contact with him. But as soon as they lose it, Richard, watch, they'll drop off those three, Ray will get back in, Bracewell and Ball will get back in, Agnew and Gray will get back in, and they'll be tight and they'll be compact, and they'll say, try and feed your way through.
Just briefly here, it's a flat back four. Manchester United play with a flat back four.
Yeah.
Two teams with the best defensive records in the league. Anything in that?
Yeah, they're organised. I'm much a lover of the flat back four. It's a great system if you organise it properly. It needs work in the training ground, Richard, and you have to put it in. But organised rightly, I think it's the best system. And is it a coincidence that both Sunderland and Manchester United have got the best records?
Interesting, isn't it?
They work hard. It's got to be worked at very hard, the flat back four. But organised properly and disciplined right, it's as good as any defensive unit you can get.
It's a special night this for Sunderland, particularly their supporters, because it's the last North Eastern derby ever at Roker Park. The first, the ground incidentally officially opened on September the 10th, 1898 by the Marquis of Londonderry before a game against Liverpool. There's been some famous names and games played there down the years as well. Look at that crowd. The record attendance, 75,118 against Derby County. It was an FA Cup 6th round replay in March 1933. Nowadays, it's 23,500. One of the reasons that Sunderland are going at the end of the season. The likes of Jim Montgomery, Brian Pop Robson, Raish Carter, Brian Clough, Charlie Buchan, Ian Porterfield have all graced the Roker turf. Len Shackleton there as well. And tonight, we are part of a little piece of history. That's Roker now, where this evening Sunderland play Middlesbrough. And our match commentator is waiting to talk to us. Two players, well, one player that may have been part of those games down the years, somebody that may have seen them all, Alan Parry and Trevor Francis.
Listen, I'm such a bad player, I tried to get in as an overage player in the Grannies team tonight and they turned me down. Anyway, talking about real players, if the teams tonight perform anything like in the style of their managers, then we really are in for a full-blooded local derby, because Peter Reid and Brian Robson were two of the most aggressive, competitive players in their own marvellous careers, and I'm sure, Trevor, they'll make the players realise tonight just how important this match is.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be a great game tonight, Alan, for two reasons. I think that obviously Sunderland have put a great emphasis on keeping clean sheets. They won't want to be beaten tonight, but also for Middlesbrough, I think obviously they've had one or two setbacks recently, losing 2-0 at home to Arsenal, and then even worse reversal at Southampton 4-0, so they're not in particularly good form. They've got to get back to winning ways tonight.
Well, let's remind ourselves of the lineups then. Beginning with Sunderland, they're without their regular left-back Martin Scott. He's suspended after his sending off at Arsenal. His place goes to the Polish international Dariusz Kubicki. Richard Ord comes back in the centre of defence following his one-match ban, and Peter Reid has opted to play 5 in midfield, leaving Paul Stewart as their only recognised striker. Sunderland, who already boast one of the best defensive records in the Premiership, are going to be even harder to break down with this formation, Trevor.
Yes, they certainly are, and last season they won the First Division Championship when Peter Reid put a great emphasis on keeping clean sheets, so there's no reason why he should change his principles this season. He realises that in the top flight it's difficult to survive, and if he keeps clean sheets, he's going to go halfway to keeping himself in that Premiership. Despite the fact that he's got 4 strikers on the bench, he has resisted playing them into the side, and you're right, Alan, he's kept Stewart up front in the absence of Niall Quinn.
Well, now let's see the Middlesbrough team again. Brian Robson had virtually a full squad to choose from for the first time this season, really. The influential Nigel Pearson returning in defence. He's missed the last 7 games with a knee injury, and Robson really was spoilt for choice in central defence. He's opted in the end for Steve Vickers and Phil Whelan as Pearson's partners. Neil Cox is also back in preference to Brenko. It's a lineup bristling with exciting attacking options, but I think, Trevor, defensively, Borough really seem to be the opposite of Sunderland.
Well, last season they were also excellent at keeping clean sheets, but there's been a move towards a little emphasis on attacking play this season. I think the arrival of Émerson to go with Juninho, Barmby, those two will always get forward to support Ravanelli. Both sides have only playing with one striker, but I think that Barmby and Juninho will play much nearer to Ravanelli than perhaps, you know, the Sunderland midfield players.
Well, you don't need to stir the fans up on a night like this. Only one derby match played at Roker so far this season, and that proved to be a big disappointment for Sunderland. They lost to Newcastle United. And now it's Middlesbrough, led again by Nigel Pearson, such an important influence for them on and off the field, who are the opponents.
Come on, bombs. Lively.
Well, you can hear the words of Pearson, just trying to get the players on their toes, gee them up, and make sure they start in the right frame of mind.
Yes, I'm sure they'll welcome that Nigel Pearson tonight, not just for his ability on the field, but when I was at Sheffield Wednesday, Alan, he was a great captain, and I think they've missed his leadership on the field.
Kevin Ball leads Sunderland, another terrific competitor. The jokes take place now, a little bit of nervousness, but once they come out into the night air here on Wearside, the only thing that will matter is 3 points and a bit of local pride. And so Roker gets ready to greet their own team and the team from just 25 miles down the road. It's the final time this famous old ground will stage a North East derby in the Premiership. And tonight, the Roker roar is at full volume. It's Sunderland against Middlesbrough. The whole match coming up live. Don't miss this. It promises to be something special.
Monday Night Football.
And our match commentators at Roker Park, Trevor Francis and Alan Parry.
Well, Roker Park has been Sunderland's home for 98 years now, and historically it's never been a lucky ground for Middlesbrough. They're visitors from just down the northeast coast. Graham Poll from Hertfordshire referees this 55th meeting here of the two clubs, and Borough, as you may have heard earlier in the programme, have won just 7. Sunderland 15th in the table at the start of play, 9 points from their 8 games, but if they win tonight, they could actually move up as many as 7 places to 8th in the table. They've only managed 1 win in their last 6 games before tonight and scored just 2 goals in that period. A lot depends on Paul Stewart tonight, and he might not have been here at all if another referee, Paul Danson, hadn't admitted his mistake in sending him off at Highbury. That was 16 days ago now, and a lot of the players on both teams have had one of their longest breaks ever in a season, I would think. But of course there are a fair number of internationals out there as well who haven't been so fortunate. Middlesbrough, incidentally, had a 1-week tour of Thailand during the break and beat the Thai national team, amongst others. There's the Roker roar in full throat as Sunderland prepare to play Middlesbrough in a league fixture for the last time ever at Roker Park. Everyone ready, it seems, bar the referee. And now it's Middlesbrough in their change strip of white shirts and blue shorts who get the game underway. And the first ball for Ravanelli, beaten to it by Ord. Ball, the Sunderland captain slices his clearance and Émerson gets his first touch of the ball. Barmby finding Ravanelli, and the kind of tackle we'll expect to see a lot of tonight, dispossessing the Italian international. At the other end, Whelan wins it back. Pearson playing it long. It's quite a gusty wind here tonight. The surface in beautiful condition, but the wind could be troublesome. This is Kubicki, the Polish international, often used, or always used, in fact, as a right back, but he's playing at left back tonight because Martin Scott is out suspended. Number 8, Richard Ord, returning after a 1-match suspension himself. And Bracewell, the eyes and ears of the manager Peter Reid out there on the pitch. Gareth Hall, a former Chelsea player, gets it back to Bracewell, who's also assistant manager here, as well as a vital man in midfield. Melville. And Agnew. Crowd not too happy with the challenge from Fleming. But all the referee has given is a throw-in. Ball out on the right, checks. to get a better angle for the cross, and it's a useful one too. And Borough at full stretch to get that one away. This is Michael Gray. Kubicki. Agnew making a run. He tried to pick him out in the box. Whelan's clearance. Ord wins it back. And Sunderland have made a good start here, Trevor.
Yes, it was noticeable that when Stewart came into a wide area, immediately Ball took up a centre-forward position. Gray also came in from a wide area to make the two in the box. That's important, Alan, because if you just got the one up front, there are going to be moments in the game when he's going to have to go wide. So therefore, you rely on your teammates to take up that centre-forward position.
Pearson delivers the long ball for Barmby. Kubicki wins it. And the ball came off Gray. Middlesbrough throw-in. Neil Cox restored to the side tonight. He was left out for Branco in the 4-0 defeat at Southampton. Middlesbrough having lost their last 2 league games, conceding 6 goals and not scoring in the process. But before that, they'd won 5 in a row in League and Cup. Here's Gray, presented straight to Émerson. Well, that's going to be the problem for Sunderland when they win the ball back like that. There are so few targets in the opposition half. Pearson under pressure here. Loses out as well. Mustoe just tries to calm it down for Middlesbrough. This is Fleming. Whistle's gone. I'm not surprised the players can't hear it. Terrific atmosphere when you think in a ground that's held 50-odd thousand. Only, well, less than half that number here tonight, but the noise is stupendous. Ravanelli. Pearson. Barmby gets it back to Cox. Middlesbrough need to settle down a little. Phil Whelan, the former Ipswich player, in trouble here against Stewart. He's presented the ball straight to him, and it took a very good tackle to deny Stewart the first opening of the game. Whelan and Vickers crisply into the challenge.
Yes, I think it was just that lack of pace that poor Stewart didn't have, otherwise he would have gone clear.
Middlesbrough rocked back on their heels by Sunderland's start here. All for that. Travel back healer for Bracewell. Now Agnew. Good football from Sunderland. Showing enormous confidence. Comes out to Gray. Well, there's no doubt who's made the better start here.
Well, it's been a terrific start from Sunderland. Gray tries to get into control, hits it on the volley, well wide, but the best chance was just prior to that. Error there from Whelan, Paul Stewart's onto it. But it's Vickers who comes over, well-timed tackle. I'm sure there, but Paul Stewart would have just wished he had a couple of yards of extra pace. It was that really that prevented him from getting the shot at goal.
Melville spreads play intelligently to Gareth Hall. Agnew just caught there from the challenge by Fleming, but again the referee's only awarded a throw-in. It was a poor ball for Fleming. Stewart with a lovely little knock-on to Agnew. Ball making ground. Gray is also in the middle, but a brilliant recovery there from Émerson. And Borough off the hook again.
Yes, it was good play from Agnew, but he wanted to put the early cross in, but as he looked up, there was nobody in the box. That's why he had to hold on to it, and it gave Émerson the chance to get back and get the tackle in.
And he's got a bad knock as well. A lot of anxiety from the Sunderland bench when he went down here. Total accident.
There certainly was no contact, was there, from Émerson? Agnew tried to put it through Emerson's legs, and He looks as if he may have gone over on his ankle.
And he's been taken immediately onto the stretcher. That looks rather worrying for Sunderland. Steve Agnew stretchered off with only 7 minutes gone. And the game, I think, will restart with a drop ball. Now, in fact, the referee ordering Middlesbrough to return it to Sunderland. And Peter Reid will anxiously await a report from the physio as to Agnew's condition. He's being treated off the pitch at the moment, still on the stretcher. Sunderland going forward again. Good tackle on ball. They seem to have an extra man everywhere, even though they're down to 10 at the moment. Sunderland winning all the important tackles. Here's Kubicki. And Gray. Ball plays it back to him. It was an intelligent ball, however, he was just offside, I think, yes. And it looks for sure now as though Agnew will play no further part in this game. There's another injury on this side.
Yes, it's Pearson. Nigel Pearson. He took a bad knock there from Gray. Only just back into the side after a knee problem. Here's the tackle.
Well, plenty of incident in the opening 10 minutes here. Meanwhile, young Michael Bridges waits to come on for Sunderland as replacement for Agnew. He's only 18. In fact, he was only 18 in August. Comes from Whitley Bay and made his debut last season. Quick and skillful player. And at the moment, it looks as though Middlesbrough have got a major problem as well. For Pearson, but he's straight back in the action, although he's looking very groggy as he runs back into the field. Confirmation that Agnew has gone off.
Yes, obviously with a change there for Sunderland, this caused Peter Reid to make a tactical reshuffle. It's Russell actually who's come on. He's come on to the left-hand side with Gray now over on the right-hand side in place of Agnew.
Change of heart there by Peter Reid about the substitute. Not altogether surprising because Russell's the experienced player. In fact, he was top scorer last season. And he's straight into the action again. The cross just taken by the wind behind the goal to the relief of Alan Miller. Well, that's the last thing really that Sunderland wanted, a disruption so early on to such a well-tried system.
Yes, it is, Alan, but I think that Peter would be absolutely delighted with the start that his side have made. Quite clearly in his opening 10 minutes, they've been much, much quicker to the ball than what Middlesbrough have been.
Ord's clearance. Whelan letting it bounce over his head, which is dangerous with Stewart right behind him again. And indeed commits the foul, which looked a harsh decision from where I was, and I think his protest is going to earn him a yellow card.
Well, I feel that's a bit harsh. Certainly that doesn't warrant a yellow card. I'm not even sure it was a free kick.
I wasn't. In fact, I don't think it was. And there could be further punishment awaiting Sunderland here. Or Middlesbrough, rather, as Sunderland line up the free kick. Ball, Bracewell, and the likeliest taker, I would think, Michael Gray here. Just trying to see what the angle is around the defensive wall. No, they had a little trick up their sleeves, and it was Russell's shot that was well off target in the end.
Yes, it was certainly a good idea. I think they tried to fool Middlesbrough by thinking that perhaps it was Gray who was going to get the shot, but the pass here from Bracewell just a little bit too wide for Russell.
Well, the youngster Russell is only 22 and has been used mainly as a substitute this season. Early injuries disrupting the pattern rather for Sunderland. They'd made such a good start. Émerson. And the whistle goes for a foul by Ball on the Brazilian. And what a waste. Brian Robson will be furious about that.
Yes, he tried to hit the early free kick. The ball was actually rolling as he struck it.
Melville's clearance. Ball's lay off, and the tackle's still flying in here with tremendous passion. The referee waving play on, and suddenly Ravanelli breaks. Juninho ahead of him, and Barmby to his right. Stewart's layoff, ball with a rather awkward pass out to the right. Bracewell directing operations and finding Kubicki. Ball again. Russell's operating down the left now. Michael Gray switched to the right. Pearson none the worse for his earlier injury, it seems. Ball. Fleming's clearance hanging in the wind. And Fleming thought he had an easy ride there. Michael Gray wasn't going to let that happen.
I think that Fleming's got to realise, along with his other 10 colleagues, they're just not going to get a moment to actually relax on the ball. Sunderland players are so quick at pressing. That's the perfect example there.
And here's Bracewell. Pearson looking for Ravanelli. Easy header away by Melville. And Sunderland have picked up the rhythm again. Paul. Gray. Bracewell. Well, we talk about Sunderland only playing with one man up front nominally, but they've committed 7 or 8 players to this attack. And that could be a danger as it breaks down with Émerson in possession. But Sunderland are working so hard when they lose the ball. Pearson at full stretch to get that one away as well. Mustoe. Ravanelli's onside. Barmby in the middle, Juninho arriving. It's a dangerous cross. It was the first real attack of any note that Middlesbrough have managed with 16 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, it's a good ball in from Ravanelli, but there was no real height in the box of Middlesbrough. The 2 players who challenged for it, both small players, Juninho and Barmby. Not a problem for Sunderland's big defenders.
Calling Fleming over, and he's let him off.
It was certainly a late challenge, but just how late was it? And as you can see, rather late.
Kubicki. kept very calm in that tight situation.
Well, often away from home, and the home team come at you for the first 10 or 15 minutes. This has been incessant attacking here from Sunderland. It is very important for Middlesbrough they don't concede in this early period, because I can't think that Sunderland can keep this sort of tempo going for 90 minutes. It really is an incredible start. The pressing has been top class. They really have had a go at Middlesbrough in this early period of the game.
They've only won 1 of their 4 matches in the Premiership here so far. That was 1-0 against Coventry. They had goalless draws against Leicester and West Ham and lost the other one, 2-1 to Newcastle in the other North East derby. So they've already dropped 7 points here this season. Juninho. Émerson. Ravanelli. It's a lovely ball. Fleming on the left. Émerson with the shot. Oh! What a goal! Émerson with an absolute stunning shot gives Middlesbrough the lead.
What a shot this was. The power of this. I think it may have took a slight deflection, but absolutely no chance. But Tony Coton, I've never seen a ball hit as hard as this, Alan. There it was definitely deflected. And I think it's off Paul Bracewell. But the power of that shot, incredible.
Emerson's second goal in the league this season. Also scored in the 4-1 win against West Ham. And the man who's probably been the biggest success, really, of any of the expensive international imports to Middlesbrough, has given them the lead, it has to be said, against the run of play here. But what a goal, what a shot. Deflection or not, that was a stunner. Now Gray, as Sunderland try and pick themselves up from that disappointment. Russell flying in there with Pearson. Well, whichever angle you look at this from, Trevor, it was a cracker.
Well, we spoke at great length yesterday about the goal from Letizia, but this is even better. Letizier's was more measured. This is absolute power. Obviously accuracy. The keeper's got no chance, Tony Coton. I don't think any keeper in the country would have possibly saved that.
I was going to say, in fairness, deflection or not, that looked as though it was bound for the net the moment it left his boot.
Well, I'm interested to see Andy at half-time with his machine, just to see how the speed of that ball. I can't imagine many shots have gone in much harder than that this season.
Now Ball, the Sunderland captain, as they try and pick things up again. Russell trying to get in between Cox and the goalkeeper.
Such a favourite here too, isn't he? You mentioned Émerson with the Middlesbrough supporters. It was interesting, you know, Alan, before the game when the players come out to warm up, Juninho and Émerson came out together, and immediately the away supporters, I should say, broke into a chorus of Émerson. He's obviously more popular than Juninho.
Certainly is at the moment. Kubicki with a long ball looking for Stewart. A great cry for handball from the home supporters, and the referee has upheld that claim. It's a penalty. Whelan can't believe it, but penalty it is.
Well, Whelan's already been booked, and will the referee send him off? I mean, once again, that's a really harsh decision. I mean, he's been booked for a harsh decision. Now he gives away a penalty. He can't believe it, I can't believe it.
And the yellow card has been shown to the goalkeeper for his protest. So, it's Ball, the captain, and it's a goal. Alex Ray from the penalty spot brings Sunderland level.
Well, Alex Reid can't believe his luck because the keeper should have saved this. He dives over it. It's not a particularly good penalty, really. Alan Miller should have saved that, Alan.
Well, it's all happening here at Roker. And remember, Miller shown the yellow card just before that penalty went in. And I must say, you have to have some sympathy with his protest. It looked a very harsh decision against Phil Whelan. The point will not matter at all to Middlesbrough, but in a way a little bit of justice has been done. They certainly didn't deserve to be a goal behind here, Sunderland. But that is a decision that will be debated at some length, I'm sure. Émerson getting a quick running repair there as the game gets underway again.
Alan, those sort of challenges happen in every game up and down the country, possibly 5 or 6 times during a game.
Here's Gray. Fleming with a back heeler. Émerson caught in possession. And the tackling getting a little out of hand. Fleming has already had one warning from the referee. Presumably trying to say he didn't hear the whistle. And Sunderland have got underway again already. Gray flying forward for them. The clearance was by Vickers. But back they come again with Stewart. And suddenly it's Middlesbrough on the counter-attack. Juninho in possession. Barmby to his right. Emerson's there again. Fine save.
Well, that was a great attack, wasn't it? Juninho went it forward at pace, but the ground that this fella made off Émerson to support him. Ball runs loose, he wastes no time hitting it again, and that's a great save from Coton.
Mustoe under pressure and fouled in the end. Alex Reid, the culprit, the man who brought Sunderland level. Only his second goal for the club. Ravanelli took it on the chest and was brought down, according to the referee.
Well, I was about to say this is Ravanelli distance, but after the way that Emerson's been shooting, I think he may fancy his luck from this sort of distance.
So many options from free kicks. Middlesbrough, so many talented players, all able to hit the target from any angle or distance. Juninho and Ravanelli over the ball at the moment. Émerson lurking with intent in the background.
And one thing is sure, Alan, home base player's not going to take it. It's going to be a foreign player.
Juninho. Well, it wasn't that far over, despite the howls of disapproval from the home fans.
I really think from this sort of distance it's perhaps a little bit too far out for the little curl over the wall. Never gets it down. Possibly been better off going for power.
Stewart took that well on the chest and finds Kubicki. No foul by Émerson. And again, Juninho finds himself in a lot of space. This is Ravanelli. Good return ball, Juninho going in, but Coton was quick and decisive.
A lot to admire that move. A great run from Ravanelli. Good ball into Juninho. But Tony Coton was alive to it, came off his line very, very quickly.
Bracewell caught in possession. Barmby goes down. No free kick has been given. And the Middlesbrough players are furious with referee Graham Poll at the moment. Dispossessed by Bracewell. And worked hard to make sure his mistake wasn't serious. You can see he's still a little angry over one or two of the decisions that have gone against Borough. Melville winning the header, but it drops nicely for Juninho. Tries to release Ravanelli. Kubicki read the danger.
Excellent covering that from Kubicki. That's one reason why Sunderland is so tight, their back four. The ball got in, played well by Juninho in behind Ord. But the fullback came in nice and tight. Otherwise, Ravanelli was in.
Huge clearance. How's Vickers backpedaling? Miller's clearance was sound. Ord. This is Hall. Gray tries to tempt the challenge. And that was a useful ball as well. Pearson with a good clearance, though, finding Neil Cox. Juninho, haven't seen too much of him yet. Ravanelli tried to play it quickly back, but Sunderland's defence living up to its reputation. The only goal they have conceded, they could have done nothing about. Well, it's been a very eventful opening half an hour at Roker. One stunning goal from this man and a highly controversial penalty, bringing Sunderland level. Although all the supporters shouted handball at first against Whelan, it was clear from the replay that the offence that he's alleged to have committed was a straightforward foul, not a handball. But that won't make him feel any better. The game has almost settled into a rhythm now after that frantic opening 20 minutes or so. Bracewell looking for Kubicki. Took that well and gets inside Cox. Good run by the Polish international. Releases Russell. Good ball. Stewart in a great position in the middle, and that was fine defending this time by Whelan to deny Stewart on the far post.
What great play that was from Sunderland. Very inventive fullback play from Kubicki. Plays it inside Nigel Pearson. Russell's got the beating in. That's a terrific cross. And as you said, Alan, good defending from Whelan at the back post. He's gone right onto Stewart's head.
Corner whipped in high towards Ball, who won the header, and the little rebound keeps Middlesbrough in trouble. Gray gets it back to Gray. Good work by Émerson, and then Bracewell stopped him in his tracks. Seems to really relish the physical side of the game as well, Émerson. He's not just a marvellously gifted player, he will tackle with the best of them on a night like this. And that's pretty impressive, isn't it? Not to mention a stunning goal. Now Hall for Sunderland. Bracewell. Gray takes over. And Stewart's given it away. Ravanelli looks for the run from Juninho, and it's a glorious ball, but he's offside.
Certainly was a great ball, and that must have been very tight.
Well, hard to see how either of those Borough players could have been offside. Now Stewart. Got away from the challenge well, and that was a fine effort.
Yeah, his first intentions were trying to release ball, but he goes alone onto his left foot. Comfortable height for Miller.
32 a week ago, Paul Stewart, and a long career at the top level, of course, with Manchester City, Spurs, Liverpool, and now Sunderland. Ravanelli finds Juninho. And Ravanelli's miles offside here.
He was miles offside, Alan, but only through good organised defending.
Here's Cox. Juninho. Good effort, but always travelling wide. He's actually managed 4 goals in his 8 Premiership matches this season, Juninho. He only scored 2 in 21 last season. Let's have another look back at the penalty incident here and why we think it was given against Whelan. Push on Stewart, presumably. Anyway, Ray put it away while the arguments were still raging. Good defending by Fleming. Push by Ravanelli was spotted by the referee.
Yes, there was no attempt to play the ball, just ran into Melville. Made an easy decision for the referee. Yeah, no attempt to play the ball. Realised that Melville was going to head it, so Ravanelli just ran into him.
Well, don't forget that we have another major match for you on Sunday, and what a match that promises to be. Newcastle United against Manchester United. Our Super Sunday game starts at 3 o'clock. Ten minutes of an exciting first half remaining at Roker. Sunderland have been on top, really, territorially. Unlucky to go behind and level in debatable fashion.
But the danger is always there to Sunderland, isn't it? When Middlesbrough break forward, that extra bit of class that they've got in Émerson, Barmby, Juninho and Ravanelli is always very, very threatening when they get good possession.
Oh, it sees Hall out on the right in lots of space. Gray in support. And none too solid that defending by Middlesbrough. But Bracewell having to work hard in midfield and loses out to Mustoe. However, Ravanelli is dispossessed and Kubicki sees the chance to come forward here. Challenge by Mustoe on Ray will surely earn him a yellow card. It indeed has.
Yes, as Alex Ray was about to lay the ball off, so Robbie Mustoe came in with a late challenge.
Here goes Russell. Lovely return ball for Russell. Good work there by Miller. I must say, for all the multi-million pounds worth of foreign talent and very good home-based players as well that Middlesbrough have assembled, it's Sunderland who've most impressed me in this first half. Not just with their commitment and organisation, things you expect from a Peter Reid team, but also with the standard of their football. Here they go again, forward, looking impressive. Stewart took it on the chest, but Mustoe intercepts. Ball. Lovely football. The home crowd appreciating this. Kubicki. Ball wants it back quickly. Bracewell. Melville. And that's not what they wanted.
No, undoubtedly the problem that Sunderland have is that they can pass it very well in defensive areas, also in midfield, but once they get near the box, they don't have too many options open to them. It's very, very difficult when they've just got the one player up front in Stewart.
Kubicki looking for him, but Vickers just let it run on.
That's an example. The ball has to be perfect into the front player, otherwise Middlesbrough can just allow it to run through to the keeper.
Ravanelli's not having the best of nights at the moment. Gives the ball away again here. And then Sunderland commit the same mistake. Alex Ray. This is Émerson. Michael Gray working hard to deny him space. And then very good defending again from Sunderland. In the end, ball had to really just lash it clear. There were no other options on for him. Ravanelli. This is Cox. Mustoe in a good position. He tried to pick him out on the near post, but Sunderland are very, very hard to get in behind.
Yes, he actually tried to drive that ball in. I just wonder if that's because it's a lack of height in the box. I need Juninho and Barmby there.
Pearson slows it down. This is Ravanelli. That's a good ball. Mustoe with a chance here. Well, he gets into some great positions, Robbie Mustoe, but his goal-scoring record's pretty disappointing.
Once again, another great ball from Ravanelli. Mustoe got in between Ord and Hall.
Phelan with a risky back pass there for Miller, who kept very calm. Now Émerson. Juninho. Cox to his right, Ravanelli is ahead of him, and Ravanelli is offside.
Well, there's no doubt he was offside, but just prior to that, he played a great ball. Here we see it here, good run from Mustoe. Ball gets back, tracks back well, holds there. Just lets it come off his knee, back to Tony Coton.
Melville for Sunderland. Gray. This is Hall. Melville's continued his run forward. Stewart also on the edge of the box. Can Gray get the cross in? There's not much room for him. And it's good work this time from Middlesbrough, forcing him all the way back to his own half. Now Kubicki. Middlesbrough have all 11 men back behind the ball in their own half. Kubicki. Russell. And they continue to weave excellent patterns in the middle of the field. Patience, Paul. And that'll be a corner if it goes.
That was good play from Sunderland. Showed a lot of patience. I think Émerson made it slightly easier for them in midfield. He tried to read it, came out, and that gave them the opening to work the ball over to the right-hand side. Got the extra man in. It was Hall who drove in trying to get the shot on goal. They've won themselves a corner.
Orders on the near post. Melville on the far post. Ball near the penalty spot. And it was Miller who acted quicker than anyone. Kubicki. Russell tries to play it back to him. It wasn't the best ball. Enabled Cox to make the tackle. A bit tight in that corner for Russell. Now Bracewell. Hall tripped and did well to recover. Kubicki. And that'll be a Middlesbrough throw. Well, into the final minute of the half. Trevor, how do you assess what you've seen so far?
Well, it was a whirlwind start, wasn't it, from Sunderland? I did say they couldn't possibly keep that tempo up. Just as they got on top, so we saw that extraordinary shot from Émerson. And then we saw the very, very dubious penalty decision, which Reid scored from. So really, at half-time, it's a very, very even game. It can go either way, Alan.
Michael Gray in possession. Ravanelli's tackle. There'll be a couple of minutes stoppage time, I would think, for the early injury to Steve Agnew. Again by Bracewell. Now Alex Reid. He allowed Barmby to intercept though. Fleming finding Émerson. Two players immediately hunt him down. And that's been a feature of Sunderland's play in this half. When they haven't had possession, they have worked so hard. Here's Juninho. Ran straight into trouble. Bracewell. That could be a terrific ball. It might just have too much on it. But Stewart has made something out of it anyway. Goal kick in the end.
Just wonder how long he can actually keep this going up front by himself. Would you say he is 32 years of age now? Obviously a very fit 32 years of age, but to play by yourself for 90 minutes like he's doing, not particularly easy.
Here he is again, and no support when he received it. Émerson showing lovely control in the middle and finding Juninho. Well, it's easy to see why Sunderland have such a staggeringly good defensive record. They really are so disciplined and well organised.
Yes, it had to be something special to breach that defence, and it certainly was.
Juninho loses Kevin Ball with that deft little twist and turn. But oh dear, that was not what we expected. 2 minutes of stoppage time completed at the end of this half. As Ord delivers the long ball, and a beautiful ball it was too for Gray. Unlucky. And Fleming is dispossessed. Alex Reid couldn't keep it in, but Sunderland get on with the throw-in. Bracewell.
I'll tell you what would be an interesting stat. Number of dispossessions that they've had in this game. Quite incredible. Every time Middlesbrough have had possession of the ball, Sunderland have snapped at their heels. They've won the ball on so many occasions.
Whelan hangs the free kick up for Ravanelli. Cox. Done well. Not an easy one that for Coton. He saw Mustoe running in on him and had to move quickly, and that brings the first half to an end. And an excellent half it was. The highlight, without question, this goal from the Brazilian Émerson. Never mind the deflection, feel the power. And then Sunderland came level again. Was that a foul by Whelan? He couldn't believe it. He didn't believe it. Alex Reid took the penalty away, and that gave Sunderland a 1-1 scoreline, which is the least they deserve in an excellent first half here at Roker Park. We'll be back with our assessment of Sunderland against Middlesbrough.
Coming up on Friday from Sky Sports, the first rugby league test between New Zealand and Great Britain. 7:15 in the morning on Friday, the first of 3 tests between the two teams. Highlights again at 7 in the evening. Right now, it's Roker Park, Sunderland against Middlesbrough, half-time. And it's 1-1. Émerson giving Middlesbrough the lead. Alex Reid with a penalty equalising. Goal attempts, few and far between. 8 in total, that's all. 2 each on target. Just 3 corners so far. Belie the sort of game it's been. It's been very enjoyable. 3 booked from Middlesbrough. Miller, Whelan and Mustoe. Action areas dominated by Sunderland. Possession, Andy, dominated by Sunderland. But it is 1-1 at half-time. Is that a fair reflection?
Yeah, I would think so. Although the game has gone, I think, pretty much as we thought it would do. Sunderland have done everything that we thought they would do. They've been organised at the back. They've been tight at the back. They've pressed and pressured Middlesbrough every time they haven't had the ball. What they have done, it may have surprised 1 or 2, is when they've had possession of the ball, Sunderland, they've actually passed it and been careful and studious, and I think looked quite good. The other hand, you had Middlesbrough, who were put under all sorts of pressure, but just when in the odd moments, Richard, when they fashioned a move or 2, they've looked really, really dangerous. And it is a great strike. I mean, I do think Tony Coton would have saved this had it not been for the deflection of Paul Bracewell. Takes nothing away from the power in the strike, but when you see how close the goalkeeper is to it there, then I think that he'll probably say, you know, had it not been just nicked off Paul Bracewell, I'd have saved that.
But as you say, it was a great strike.
It was a great strike, but it was better than that. The goal was better than that. The strike came at the end of it, but what went before it was really football to be admired and what they're typical of. I mean, it starts away back with Nigel Pearson, and the ball in there, I mean, just watch the way they go from here. Lovely control. And it's very much as we thought, the way that Barmby and Juninho getting involved in Émerson. And just look at that, as we said, remember I talked about the back 4?
Yes.
Look at the way, they're nice and tight, they're nice and compact. The only thing that goes wrong here is, see Michael Gray there, Richard, he just comes in a bit, and that allows Curtis Fleming to sneak in behind him.
Not used to playing that side, maybe?
Well, no, it might be. He's naturally left-footed. But he comes in, you see, when the other 3 midfield players are all in there. And then, because he does that, that does allow Fleming to get forward, well, pretty much unopposed. But they get a bit unlucky, Sunderland, because they think they've mopped it up there. But as it drops, go on, what do you think? How fast was this, Trevor? I thought it's as fast as we've seen. It's from just 29 yards. You'll see the deflection it takes off Paul Bracewell just there. Look at that. And the speed of it, 80 miles an hour. So not quite up there with the best. I mean, 80 miles an hour is a pretty powerful shot. Just
before that, we'd seen a statistic telling us that Sunderland had 62% of the possession, so they were due an equaliser, weren't they? But what was your view of it?
The penalty, I think it's a penalty. That's my opinion. Commentators think it was a harsh decision. Middlesbrough will think it's a harsh decision. I think that when you see this, if it's outside the 18-yard box, in general play, you get a free kick. There isn't a doubt about that in my mind. Now, I've taken it from the wide angle first to show Graham Paul his position. Have a look at what he says. As it comes in, they're battling and barging. Header goes there. Now, how quickly? He's made his mind up really quickly, the referee, and he's given the penalty. Right? Now, we don't quite see it. Now, here's a closer view. Here we go. Now, and this is why I think it's a penalty, Richard, because as it comes in there, Now, Phil Whelan hasn't got one. He's got two arms all over Paul Stewart. He's given it for holding down. I think he was holding down. I will agree with people who might say to me, but you don't always get them. Agreed. But does that make his decision wrong?
But you think that you should always get them in those circumstances?
I think so. I think so. I think there's an awful lot of times when defenders do get away with climbing on top of defenders, with attackers, but referees don't give it, possibly because it's in the box. And people will say, as both Trevor and Alan said, that's harsh. And Brian Robson might say, that's harsh. And I would agree. But because it was a right decision, because it was right to give it, and you don't always get them, doesn't make it wrong.
It was a penalty. It is 1-1 at Roker Park, one of the traditional stadiums, one of very few left. It's been a good game, and we've got the whole of the second half coming up next, live. With Speedway at the weekend, the British Riders' Championship from Bradford, Saturday at 6 on Sky Sports 2. The top riders from the top British clubs head-to-head. Right now, Sunderland 1, Middlesbrough 1 at Roker Park. After a very bright first half. Let's go back to Roker and rejoin Trevor Francis and Alan Parry.
Thanks, Richard. Welcome back to Roker Park, which will be no more, of course, next season as a Premiership ground. Sunderland due to move to a 40,000 all-seater stadium, and this club with a famous history, 6 league championships over the years, though most of them, it has to be said, were at the turn of the century, will have a home to match that of Middlesbrough, their opponents tonight, and Newcastle United. And the North East really is back as a major centre of English football again. Middlesbrough 10th in the table at the start of play. If they win tonight, they could go up 3 places to 7th. Their away form has been disappointing this season. Just one away win at Everton. They drew at Forest and were beaten at Chelsea and Southampton. Indeed, they've only won 4 of their last 23 away games in the Premiership. Sunderland get the second half underway then. Sunderland in the stripes, as though you needed to be told. And I'm sure Peter Reid will be asking for more of the same from his team. Brian Robson will be demanding more, full stop, from his players. Particularly, I suspect, in an attacking sense and in their midfield defending. Juninho going forward straight away. Couldn't find Ravanelli. Excellent cover again. The 2 central defenders, Ord and Melville, have played really well.
That was a good opportunity there that Juninho wasted. Ravanelli was free, badly underweighted the pass from Juninho.
Bracewell just getting back from ball. And finds Reid. Out on the left. And that looked like a foul, surely, as Kubicki came in field, but the referee saw nothing wrong with it. Well, let's go down to Nick Collins on the touchline. Nick.
Alan, one other thing emerged at half-time. Alan Miller, the Middlesbrough goalkeeper, wasn't booked for dissent, but he was booked for ungentlemanly conduct, for wasting time and trying to gain an advantage at that penalty.
Cheers, Nick. It's Graham Poll's version of the yellow card. Ungentlemanly conduct. Forward by Whelan rather aimlessly. One of the 3 players who were cautioned in that first half, Miller, Whelan and Mustoe. All 3 of them from the visitors. Stewart now for Sunderland. Ray under pressure from Mustoe. And he took another fine tackle from Ord.
Yes, you saw that Reid there being put under pressure by the Middlesbrough players. And that's the opposite of what we saw in the first half.
Yes, I'm sure Brian Robson, who was one of the finest defensive midfielders of his time, still playing, of course. Both him and Viv Anderson, his number 2, are still registered as players, but he won't have been happy with the lack of pressure from some of his midfield players in that first half. In fact, Brian Robson played as a sweeper on that tour of Thailand, who I mentioned before the kick-off. Linesman's flag for an offside here. Incidentally, Brian Robson is £1,500 worse off today as a result of an FA fine for words he said out of order to a referee.
Are you talking about the penalty in the first half, Alan, are you?
No, I presume he kept his thoughts on that to himself. Vickers turns away from danger and finds Émerson. And Ravanelli again is miles offside. Sunderland before tonight had kept clean sheets in 4 of their 8 league games. Defending is no problem for them. If only they can find the same sort of formula in scoring goals, they're going to do pretty well in their first season back at the top after 5 years. But it's a big if. Juninho getting up well. Fleming onto it, Ravanelli and Barmby both in the middle, but the cross was well blocked by Bracewell. And now Gray. Gray goes in hard on Fleming, but Mustoe keeps possession for Middlesbrough. Émerson. Pearson. Good challenge by Ball to dispossess him. Russell did well and to carry the fight to the heart of the Middlesbrough defence.
Yes, and Émerson did well too. The timing of the tackle had to be spot on. Otherwise, he would have been in the book.
And another good challenge by Émerson. But Middlesbrough not looking too comfortable at times at the back. And Ravanelli's had one of those frustrating nights. Melville. This is Reid. It looked like a little nudge there by Whelan, but the linesman was perfectly placed to disagree. Goal kick. Well, it's a pretty sorry statistic of Ravanelli's night so far, isn't it? Especially for a player in great form. He's just scored 3 goals for the Italian national side to make it 8 in 13 internationals. He's already scored 10 goals, 6 of them in the Premiership for Middlesbrough.
And his haircut's not too special either.
Maybe that's taken his strength away. What you might regard as significant, incidentally, is that Ravanelli has yet to score in an away game for Middlesbrough this season. All those goals have come at home. Certainly nothing to do with tactics. Middlesbrough are very much an attacking side, home and away. Now Fleming. Ravanelli takes on all. But the defender wins the battle. However, he has conceded the corner. Fine, consistent player, Richard Ord. His 10th season now as a first-team regular, and he's still only in his mid-20s. This could be Middlesbrough's first corner, we're not sure. It is. It's not a bad one, over Ravanelli's head, and it comes back to him, and out to Cox, and blocked on the line. Good goalkeeping there.
Well, that looked as if it could be Ravanelli's first goal, but the ball eventually ran to that man, Cox. Terrific block on the line.
Coton hesitates again, and once more Ravanelli, yes! He's got it! A And wouldn't you know it, just as we were pointing out, he hadn't managed a goal away from Teesside. He's got one on Weir side, of all places.
Well, the previous corner caused 1 or 2 problems. Middlesbrough do well. They keep the ball in there in the danger area. Whelan missed kicks. Pearson goes for it. And of all people, it falls to Ravanelli, and he's just not going to miss from that sort of distance. On his favourite left foot, he makes no mistake.
Ravanelli has now scored more goals this season than the entire Sunderland team put together. And Sunderland again find themselves behind in this game. But perhaps not for long as they go forward menacingly here. Russell's cross is a good one. Fleming has to come and meet it quickly and concede the corner. Well, we've got a game and a half now.
Russell did well there, Alan, to keep that ball in play, but they've got to get into that box much quicker. The support just didn't come quickly enough.
Good clearance by Pearson, driven back in by Bracewell. That could have gone absolutely anywhere.
What a block that was from Fleming. I think that may have found its way into the back of the net. Here we see it from Bracewell. Was it going in? Yes, I don't think Miller would have saved that. What a block that was from Fleming.
He guards the near post as the corner comes over again. Hook clear, and this time Bracewell's shot is not quite so impressive. Frustration for Peter Reid, who's done such a magnificent job in his 19 months in charge here. Would you believe they've only lost 11 of the 61 league games he's been in charge of before tonight? What a record.
Peter there just shouting 1 or 2 instructions to the players. Once again, another little tactical change. Michael Gray's gone to the left-hand side, and Craig Russell's come over to the right-hand side.
Barmby, meanwhile, looks for Ravanelli again in the middle. He couldn't quite get it on that famous left foot. And Pearson comes forward. And the nature of the game has suddenly changed and swung in Middlesbrough's favour. Émerson. Ravanelli beaten to it by Melville. Fleming. Calm defending again by Ord. Reid running into a bit of trouble, but he got out of it nicely. Well, it might be a suitable moment to point out, as we have a look at Ravanelli's goal again, that Sunderland have got real problems getting back into this game, Trevor.
Yeah, you see Sunderland here, they can't get it clear, but Middlesbrough do well to keep it in the danger area. Whelan does well, Pearson can't quite get to it, but Ravanelli makes no mistake.
And in only 1 league game so far this season have Sunderland managed to score more than 1 goal. That was when they won 4-1 at Nottingham Forest, so that's a measure of the task facing them here. Ravanelli goes down, touching his face from the challenge. I didn't see any intent from our distance. Maybe the replay will suggest otherwise. We shall see.
Well, there are plenty of boos from the home supporters, but when it's a head injury, the referee is quite right to stop the game immediately.
Let's see what happened.
Yeah, he just clashes here with Ord.
Yeah, certainly no intent at all by the defender. But Ravanelli will have a fair old swelling over the eye. But more importantly, another goal on the record sheet. Goal number 11 for him this season, for his club side. And when you add the 3 international goals as well, it's not bad, is it, for the middle of October? the ball, and it's a red card.
Yes, what happened there, Alan, was as Barmby went down the floor, Ward actually stamps on him, and the referee spotted it. It was a good spot. He put his studs all over Barmby. You see the incident here. And watch now as he goes to the floor.
What a stupid thing to do.
It's his left foot, it is. Barmby loses his boot. There you go.
I'm afraid to say that looked as deliberate as you can get. I don't think there was any accident about that. And that's the second time this season that Richard Ord has been sent off. He was dismissed in the game against Derby, has already served one suspension. And in fact, Peter Reid's team now have just about the worst disciplinary record in the Premiership. That's the fourth Sunderland player to be sent off. They had 2 dismissed, remember, at Arsenal in their last league game. That's 3 players in 2 matches, and they've had a lot of yellow cards as well. And in terms of tonight, they have got massive problems now. 2-1 down. They're just coming up to an hour completed and down to 10 men. They were down to 9 men, remember, at Highbury. And I must say they put on a marvellous display to hold out against Arsenal for so long that day, but this is a different situation. Well, it's going to require prodigious effort now on the part of those 10 men to pull Sunderland back into contention. Clearance by Whelan, drops dangerously here. Melville knew that Ravanelli was right behind him, and how composed can you get? Brilliant. Kubicki. That's a foul. And the home fans will be paying for blood now every time there's a Middlesbrough tackle, and the stewards having to restrain them. We don't want to see that. Swapping shirts, he almost swapped shorts then. Hour gone. It's all happening at Roker, as we thought it might. Gray, Kubicki, on to Bracewell. Those 2 keep ball in the corner. Still Gray. Melville finding the captain, getting ball. Slides it in for Stewart. Stewart on to Gray. It's a good tackle by Pearson. But suddenly, ball comes to get it back again and finds Russell. Sunderland are level. What character this team has.
Well, that's fantastic play by Sunderland. A great drive and run from ball. Plays a terrific ball. Russell's there where he should be. It's no more than a side foot, but you have to give credit for the position that he takes up. Comes in at the back post. I've seen those missed, but he takes it really well.
And last season's top scorer opens his account for this season. The Roker roar, full-throated again, and the 10 men are back on level terms. Ravanelli's goal seems just a memory already, but here goes Juninho, a fine run, the tackle by Bracewell, adjudged to have been a foul. And this looks decent territory for Ravanelli.
Yes, I would think so, but just return to the goal that Sunderland scored. Not particularly good defending again from Middlesbrough, and they had enough chances to get that ball away, but real determined play by Sunderland.
Ravanelli, Juninho and Émerson, the terrible trio involved again. What can they produce this time? Ravanelli's left foot, to the delight of all the fans at that end, did not produce anything very spectacular.
No, it wasn't the best free kick, was it? Just like Juninho's. Couldn't bring it back down, too much height. But what a comeback that is by Sunderland, down to 10 men. Tremendous character. Less than half an hour to go. I'm sure that Peter Reid would take a draw at this moment.
I'll bet he would. Well, Middlesbrough have one of the poorest defensive records in the Premiership, and Brian Robson will be concerned once again about the way they've conceded goals here tonight. Well, the last time we were in the North East for that marvellous Newcastle-Villa game, I remember, as you will, that Aston Villa were down to 10 men, and in the last half an hour, it looked like Newcastle, rather than there, and Russell bursts onto the ball again here. Good goalkeeping from Miller. And Sunderland will believe that they can make light of their disadvantage.
Good pass this, and Gray once again, good position, comes in from wide.
Marvellously entertaining match, and very much back in the balance. Ravanelli finds Fleming. Whoops. Embarrassment. It's the first time for 14 years, incidentally, that these two clubs have met in the top division. And in the last meeting, back in April 1982, Middlesbrough won 2-0 here. Ball caught in possession, but Bracewell wins it back. Now he's lost out to Mustoe and brought him down. He's going to be in trouble here, Bracewell. Yellow card produced straight away.
Yes, it was initially good pressing from Bracewell, and then Mustoe reversed the rows. Good pressing from him. Bracewell finds himself in the book.
Well, would it be tempting fate to say that Middlesbrough's free kicks so far tonight have been disappointing? I'll never get out of Sunderland alive for a score here. Juninho is going to take this one. And safe for the moment.
I really feel he's too far out, Alan, to get it up and over the wall like that. He must be all of, what, 23, 24 yards. He's not going to beat Coton from there. Here's this run from Ball. Great pass across the box. Good position from Russell. Equally good finish. A tremendous response.
Bracewell just having a bit of a discussion with the referee. Well, Craig Russell was a prolific goal scorer in his younger days for the youth and reserve teams here. Carried it on last season at first team level. Hasn't had much chance to show what he can do in the Premiership this season, but certainly did in that moment. And the referee not too popular again. He's given the free kick to Middlesbrough. Good work from Cox here. And he keeps Borough on the attack. It's their throw. Juninho finding a bit of room and finding himself immediately overwhelmed by 3 Sunderland men, but the referee, I think, will see that as a foul. No, well, he has, but surprisingly, a foul against Middlesbrough.
You're right, there's 3 converge on little Juninho. Sure, he didn't like being on the floor at that moment.
He looked like the poor unfortunate school kid caught in the yard there by 3 of the bigger boys. And the foul still went against him. 5'5" and 9.5 stone. Hardly equipped for a physical battle. Stronger and fitter this season, though. Ravanelli does well to find Émerson. They've got men over here. One of them is Juninho. But Coton anticipated marvellously well again.
Just look at the bench, Alan, to see if there's any suggestion of a tactical change from Middlesbrough with the 1-man numerical advantage. But they're still going to keep Ravanelli up front by himself. Some of them just changed it slightly. Russell has now gone forward to join Stewart. So they've got 2 men up in the attack.
Free kick just gone against Stewart, launched early for Fleming, but it'll be too deep for him. Stewart still shaking his head in disbelief. Foul by Whelan on Russell. Ironic cheers from the Roker faithful. It's Sunderland's free kick. Stewart. And Mustoe. And it goes to Émerson. Ravanelli can't control it, but almost won it back from Bracewell. That's clever play from Kubicki. Nice ball and a great pass out to Gray. Could have been a dangerous ball, but in the end it went where they didn't want it, straight to Whelan.
Well, that shouldn't happen, Alan. Middlesbrough there, Pearson and Whelan with 2-on-2 at the back, especially with a 1-man numerical advantage. It should never happen, that.
And now Gray has given it away again. And they might be punished for that. As Juninho comes forward, Barmby and Ravanelli in support. Played the wrong ball, though. Michael Gray again. Tremendously exciting player when he gets a bit more time than he's had tonight. Paul. Russell showing his pace here against Whelan. Stewart is in the middle. It goes in short to Ray, who's dispossessed by Mustoe. Now Fleming. Vickers releases Émerson. On it goes to Cox. Juninho. Foul, free kick to Middlesbrough. And a reminder that it's your chance tonight, as every night, to nominate your man of the match. 0891 111101. 0891 111101. Vickers for Middlesbrough. Barmby. Pearson waits and finds Juninho, and that's a lovely little ball on from him. And they've got strength in the middle here as well, with both Barmby and Ravanelli well placed. But the cross a little bit late coming in, and Kevin Ball deflected behind for a corner. Vickers comes forward for the kick, so too is Whelan. It's played towards him on the near post. They can try again.
Excellent near post header from Bracewell. Big danger in Middlesbrough with the three big centre-halves all come forward.
And suddenly Coton is out, furious with his defenders for allowing Barmby that much space.
Well, that was a good chance for Barmby. The corner was hit with tremendous pace.
Could have been a goal easily. Foul on Russell by Vickers gives Sunderland a free kick. And this game still intriguingly in the balance. Kubicki for Sunderland. Stewart just feels to find out where the defender is right behind him. Bracewell chips a lovely looking ball forward, danger here, and Vickers with an excellent clearance. Gray. Cox can't really get his way out of that little hole, but he managed to use Pearson to help him out. Peter Reid, I'm sure, will be kicking every ball himself. Russell now. That's a useful one for Ray. Wild effort. But it did take a deflection, and he has got a corner.
Yes, an excellent forward run that from Ray. Deflection from Whelan. Didn't cause a problem to Miller, but another determined run from Sunderland. You would have felt that at this moment, 2-2, they'd have settled for that. With them giving it up, they're still going for victory.
And you can't pay them a better tribute than to say it's hard to believe that it's they with the 10 men at the moment. Melville has come to the near post. Ray will take the kick. Swung over by Ray, the goalkeeper hesitated, and that could have been fatal hesitation as well, as Stewart climbed high.
It's a good corner, wasn't it? Well worked. Stewart gets up above Pearson. It's a good chance. You'd be disappointed didn't do better with that. Great jump. Come quite directed on target.
And goalkeeper Alan Miller, a relieved man. Juninho, Ravanelli, onto the left foot, but a pretty poor effort. Into the final quarter of an hour then, and Sunderland looking every bit as likely to win this match as Middlesbrough at the moment, despite the fact that they have only 10 men. Richard Ord sent off for stamping on an opponent. Cox swings the clearance forward and finds Juninho. Fleming's in a great position down the left-hand side. And now he gets it from Mustoe. Juninho just drops off and finds room for himself so intelligently. Here's Émerson, now Ravanelli, but again he was a bit lazy and trying to control the ball, and Sunderland have possession themselves with Stewart taking on Pearson. Craig Russell is in a good position in the middle if he can get the cross in. He almost did. And Paul manages to win it back and find Gray. And he goes towards Ray. Oh, double deflection. Strange one, that. Juninho. Ravanelli. The little Brazilian beaten to it again, might have It was such an enthusiastic tackle by Ball. He must have been afraid that he scored an own goal for a moment.
He's put some effort into Snyder's ball. 10 seconds ago, he's up the other end. Gets back there to dispossess Juninho. He's had a tremendous game.
Enormously popular figure he's been in his 6 years here. And now Sunderland have to defend again. And the header by Cox goes straight back out to the taker. And now Juninho with a chance. Thought he was shoot then, really. It seemed on for the shot. Pressure from Middlesbrough. Bracewell relieves the pressure on Sunderland for the moment. That'll be a Middlesbrough throw. Juninho. That's a good ball. Barmby. The run by Cox. But he'll never reach that.
That's the area where they've got to get the ball, Alan, because Cox has been open for the last 5 minutes there. He's actually played the more difficult ball. Émerson would have been the better ball just to his right.
Stewart took that beautifully on the chest, turned on by Ball. He's there again. I would have thought he was a contender for that man of the match vote, Kevin Ball. He's had a marvellous game, as Trevor pointed out before. Bracewell, with steady performance as ever by him. And suddenly, Melville almost ran into trouble then against Juninho. Coton's clearance has dropped straight to Fleming. You've got to be aware of the offside here, Middlesbrough. Ravanelli. Juninho. Good run by Barmby. On it goes again to Cox. They've got strength in numbers here. Juninho, lovely little turn, but just slipped at the vital moment. Brave header away by Gray, but now it's Émerson for Middlesbrough. 10 minutes to go. Will we see a winner at Roker tonight? Now Ravanelli. Émerson couldn't quite get there. And still Middlesbrough come forward. But there's a good ball out of defence to relieve the pressure for a moment. Russell beaten to it by Whelan. Middlesbrough looking ominously a little bit stronger perhaps in the last few minutes. Maybe the effect of 11 men against 10 will tell in this last 10 minutes. Juninho. Mustoe. And now Émerson. Ravanelli. Finds Juninho. And that could have easily caught Coton by surprise. He reacted well.
There's certainly enough space for this shot, but hits the target. Not with real great sort of power. But you're right, Alan, the last 10 minutes you would think that the passing ability of these Middlesbrough players, Juninho, Émerson, Ravanelli, Barmby, could just be decisive. But you can't write Sunderland off. They're looking to try and hit Middlesbrough whenever they can on the counter-attack. Got the pace of Russell up there, who's causing plenty of problems.
But I saw a fair bit of Sunderland when they won the First Division Championship last season, and they really have got terrific team spirit as well as some very talented players. They kept clean sheets in 26 of their 46 games from the First Division last season, and that's the rock upon which their championship was built. No clean sheet tonight, but they have played extremely well. Gray for them. Just went over the line. Middlesbrough's throw. And pause for breath to remind you of the telephone number to make your vote for man of the match. 0891 11 1101. That's 0891 11 1101. Sunderland almost in a bit of danger, but Hall gets them out.
Yes, he had to just clear that anywhere. He was put under pressure there by Bracewell. 2 Middlesbrough players quickly pressed him. His only option really was to kick it out of play.
Juninho runs into trouble. Hall getting it forward. Vickers beats Stewart to it. Now Fleming. Émerson. Ravanelli. Back to Émerson. Not quite sure what he was attempting there, but it didn't come off.
No, I don't think he fancied the shot. He was on his left foot.
Fleming beats Reid to it. Now Mustoe lines up the shot. And it's only just avoided the embarrassment of going out for a throw-in. Had a very good season, Robbie Mustoe, and Brian Robson says he's played as well as anybody, but certainly seems to lose it a little bit when the chance of a goal comes along. But I'm sure Brian Robson will be amongst the many watching Sky on Sunday afternoon when we show Newcastle United against Manchester United, one of the biggest fixtures of the season. Our programme begins at 3. Sunderland have a free kick. Just a shade over 5 minutes to go at Roker. There's their late drama in store. That's a foul by Cox, a tackle from behind on Gray that is bound to earn him the inevitable.
There's the tackle from behind, and also with 2 feet.
Yellow card for Cox. 4 Middlesbrough players cautioned tonight, and of course we've had a sending off on the Sunderland side of Ward and the booking for Bracewell. Kevin Ball getting up well, but couldn't direct the header goalwards. Peter Reid urging that final 5 minutes of effort from his players. You might argue it's a game that neither side really deserves to lose. Alex Ray wasn't going to duck out of that challenge with Whelan. Stewart was a little bit unhappy about the tackle that went in before that.
Yes, I think as the ball goes loose here, Alex Ray's expecting a 50-50 challenge with Whelan, so he makes sure he's not involved with it at all, he just boots it anywhere.
Ravanelli flicking it on, Juninho can't get there. Cleared by Hall. Foul given against Kevin Ball, surprisingly. Now Fleming is fouled. And the referee's played a symphony on his whistle tonight. Good tackle by Ray. Excellent play by him. Russell just helps it on to Michael Gray. Sunderland go looking for a winner again. The 10 men with 3 minutes to go. Russell just took his eye off the ball. Juninho a little bit slow.
It wasn't a particularly good pass, though, was it, from Ravanelli? I'm surprised how often players of this ability, we're talking about world-class players, have given it away, despite the fact they've got an extra man.
Now Kubicki's given it away, another very experienced international, capped about 50-odd times by Poland. long ball, but into no man's land. 2 minutes then for this North-East derby to be decided. Stewart. And the pace and tenacity of the game continues into the dying moments as Miller takes his life in his hands there, coming out of his penalty area to challenge Russell. Got away with it. Ray flicking it forward for Stewart, who was adjudged to back into the defender. And I've got to be careful not to talk himself into a yellow card here. Maybe the referee decided he used his elbow. Barmby. And Sunderland still working so hard to come and win it back. Gray. We talk about honesty and integrity of players. Peter Reid has produced it from every one of the men in red and white striped shirts tonight. They have shown tremendous commitment to the cause. Émerson. Now Mustoe. Middlesbrough still looking to snatch it. Mustoe again. Finds Barmby. On to Juninho. A little over-elaborate that, but they've kept possession. Whelan lifting it forward. Oh, good defending, Melville.
Yes, he was. He knew exactly where his keeper was. Possibly had a shout from Coton, but it's very, very calm defending in the last minute of the game.
So we're into stoppage time at Roker. Challenge by Ray on Fleming. Stewart was a bit short that ball, but Kevin Ball did his utmost to win it again. Now Juninho with a little spurt of pace to take him into the danger area, but it's too late. It's all over, and I think we've got a just result, really, a draw here at Roker Park. And the applause says much more than I could about Sunderland's marvellous, spirited performance. Ravanelli got his first away goal in the Premiership. And at that stage, it looked as though Sunderland were in deep trouble. The situation got even worse when they had a player, and a key man at that, Richard Ord, sent off. But they wouldn't lie down, and this marvellous run by Kevin Ball laid it on for Craig Russell to slide home the equalising goal. They thoroughly deserved the point. A match played with typical derby fervour and passion. A lot of bookings and one red card, but a hugely enjoyable match. And it ended here at Roker Park. Sunderland 2, Middlesbrough 2.
It was another very good Monday night football match. 2-2, as Alan said. Keep those calls coming for the man of the match. The number never changes. 0891 111101. It remains 0891 111101. A lot to look back on when we come back.
The name's Mike Hammer. So far, I've been harassed, seduced, punched, shot at, and framed. All in a day's work for a detective. Luckily, I've got Pammy to keep me in order. You can see it all and come die with me 10 o'clock tonight on Sky Movies.
Every year, British Airways looks after the hopes and dreams of 30 million people. British Airways, the world's favourite airline.
Love the hat.
Oh, I need it. My hair's a disaster. Look at my dandruff.
What you need is Head and Shoulders. It's the business look.
In tests, it shifts dandruff so much faster that even after another chance, the other one still hasn't caught up with Head and Shoulders.
See? No dandruff.
And it looks great. Thanks.
Don't forget your hat.
Who needs it?
Fastest ever Head and Shoulders. Forget dandruff. Have beautiful hair.
I'm ringing Bob in LA, see if I can get him to stay away a bit longer. A 5-minute weekend chat to the USA and Canada costs £1.45, but from October the 8th, it'll be down to £1.31. And if you're on BT's Friends and Family and Premier line, it can be as low as 98p. Ring 0800 003 800 to see what you could save. Hello, Bob. Hi. But it's lovely over there, eh? Yeah? Lots of sunshine? Flopping into the pool, are you? Diving, sorry, diving.
Well, Paul and Nigel, a terrific match. Paul, first of all, when Sunderland were 2-1 down and reduced to 10 men, did you still feel you could get back into it?
Yeah, obviously it was difficult. We kept plugging away, and Russ come on the back stick and go, good goal. And then obviously it was backs against the wall, but lads worked extremely hard and obviously deserved the point.
Terrific atmosphere. How much did that help you?
Yeah, I think the last derby there was no Newcastle supporters here, but obviously the Borough had their supporters there, and I think it had a great atmosphere. Nigel, Borough twice ahead. Do you feel perhaps you should have taken the points in the end?
Yeah, possibly. But all credit to Sunderland. I mean, they battled hard throughout. I mean, they really set the stall out early on. They closed it down very quickly, denied us time on the ball, and I think they really set the tempo of the game. But having said that, we scored 2 super goals and, failed to capitalise on it. But it's a good away point for us.
What was that first 15 minutes like? Because you didn't seem to be given any time on the ball at all before there was a Sunderland player on you.
Yeah, very hectic, but like I say, I think that must have been their team plan. They knew that we've got players who can hurt them if given time, and I think they did it quite well, actually.
After 2 defeats without any goals, presumably it's quite a consolation to get an away point and score twice.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we're still striving to keep clean sheets, and I felt that tonight we were a little bit unfortunate. The first goal, penalty, whether it was a penalty or not, I've been told it is, was a penalty. The second one, They were, you know, slightly fortunate with a couple of tackles that broke to them, but generally speaking, I thought we defended quite well tonight.
Paul, did you see the sending off incident at all?
I didn't know. Obviously, the ref seen something. He said that Richard stamped on the lad, and if he did, obviously, it was a red card, but we'll have to wait and see the video.
Well, a home point. How do you feel generally Sunderland is settling in now?
Yeah, I mean, I think we started well. I think they scored against when they played a little bit. Twice, actually. But, you know, the spirit's here, and the lads are determined. I think they showed tonight. We can play it. We get it on the floor. Disappointed, but at the end of the day, we've come out with a point with 10 men, so I think the manager will be delighted with that.
Well, it was a terrific match. There were a lot of candidates for the Carling Man of the match. In the end, Paul, you won it. Nigel, perhaps you'd present it to Paul. Well played, the pair of you. Well done.
I was going to get it
2-2, and plenty of highlights to look back on as well. OK, well, I'll try and line up the highlights from what we've seen. But 2-2, as I said, we'd settle for that most Monday nights, wouldn't we? Oh,
it was a great, enjoyable local derby. And, you know, with the way that they all panned out in the second half, I mean, the trouble with corners, defending them all night, Sunderland. It was no surprise when Middlesbrough took the lead. But, as I said about Peter Reid's sides, the one thing they never do, Richard, is give up. And they didn't give up.
And they went at it from the off, didn't they?
Right. They earned the right. Nigel Pearson said they set the tempo of the game. And it was just like this, pressure, pressure, pressure. And for 15, 16 minutes, that was the theme of the game. That was the story of the game. And Middlesbrough found it really, really hard. And then a bolt from the blue. What can you say about that?
Sunderland had 62% of the possession in that opening 20-minute spell.
But that's the difference, and that's going to be the difference that they're going to find Sunderland. If it's going to be the downfall this year, Richard, they can dominate games and dominate possession. The one thing that they've got to do is put an end product on somewhere when they're doing so well in matches. And that's something that I'm sure Peter Reid would love to address. By that, I mean he'd love some money to spend. Because when you see the basis of the side he's got there, every person I spoke to that's played against Sunderland has said exactly what Nigel Pearson said there. They work their socks off, they give the club everything, and they just need a little cutting edge. And this was the difference in the match. You always felt that Middlesbrough, although they had a lot less possession, were a lot less involved, given an attack, you always felt Middlesbrough would be the team that would score. And that must be a frustrating thing for a manager. You know, they don't clear the corner properly. It's not convincing. And Ravanelli, who I thought had a very quiet night, I thought he was really quiet.
It's about his one shot, wasn't it?
Yeah, smashed it in.
If you haven't got much money, you've mentioned that, you've got to spend it well. Peter Reid didn't pay a lot for him.
No.
My goodness, he's had value for money, hasn't he?
Oh, with Bracewell, it's been great. Paul Bracewell's one of the best pros. I mean, we saw the incident there. Paul Bracewell said he didn't see it. Obviously, the referee did. He's right. He's got to go. There's no argument. There's no defence. And then when you want a skipper, you know, you want to roll your sleeves up. And what a good finish. He might just have earned himself a little run in the side, Russell, tonight, I tell you.
Would you give him one?
I would. I think one of the things I was a little critical of when Niall Quinn and Paul Stewart were teamed together up front was the fact that there might not be any pace in the side. I think Russell has that genuine change of pace, and that troubles defenders. But I think for Middlesbrough, when you think what Robbo's team have gone through away from home, not that convincing as well. I think they'll be fairly happy with that point.
The FA Carling Premiership then. Blackburn Rovers still bottom, Coventry and Southampton just above them, Forest outside the bottom three. Then it's West Ham, Leeds, Derby and Sunderland, who could have gone as high as 8th tonight with a clear 2-goal win. They're 13th, 12th Leicester City, Spurs up to 11th this weekend. Everton are 10th, then it's Aston Villa, Middlesbrough, Sheffield Wednesday, Chelsea, Wimbledon, Manchester United 4th, Liverpool off the top. It's Arsenal 2nd and Newcastle United a point clear at the top now, and that's our next Super Sunday venue, remember, Newcastle United and Manchester United. Here is Peter Reid. He's with Nick Collins.
Well, Peter, it was a great game. Is that the sort of match you'd have liked to have played in?
Yeah, it was a smashing game. Both sides went to win it, and they're different class on the break, a lot of pace in the side, and that was the one concern. And from the dead balls they stick in off corners are real quality. But we stuck at it and we passed it, and we come away with a point.
How pleased were you with the way your side fought back, though, from being a man down and a goal down?
I've got a great set of players up in there, and they give me everything. I can't ask for anything more. I was disappointed with the sending off, obviously, but I'd rather talk about the good points in the game where there's plenty of passion. plenty of pace, plenty of good passing. I thought it was a good game. I nearly headed that one in as well, didn't I, with Stewie there?
It was just the kind of game you'd forecast actually earlier, wasn't it?
I thought it was going to be a good game, because I know Brian's side like to come out and attack. And I just felt that there would be goals, and I was talking to Trevor, and he said there has been goals on Mondays. 4 again tonight, so I hope we don't play on another Monday. Can't go through that. No, it was a smashing game.
The home form, you're not getting beaten, but you seem to be drawing a few too many. Is that a fair point?
Very similar to the start. Last year we went on and won the title, but I don't think we'll win it, but we'll... yeah, we tried to go out and we tried to play and we tried to get it forward, passing it through midfield. And my players are doing smash with me. I thought Craig finished that one off really well. And just keep plugging away, keep playing, and you never know.
Indeed. Well, it was certainly a great one, Peter. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dick.
OK, so what have you got? The first goal from Émerson.
Yeah, it gives us a chance, doesn't it? Quick chance to go through all the goals. And I think good goals. Both the first and the last goals were excellent goals. Second one, a bit of controversy about the penalty. But the first one, as I said, after smashing goal. And as Peter Reid said, good when they get the ball down and they play. Again, it was build up, Barmby, Juninho, Émerson, all involved. As I said at half-time, they got that line, Richard, they kept it there. The 3 in the midfield that were tight in midfield just get caught out, and so did Michael Gray, and that just allowed Fleming to just sneak up on this side here. And Émerson just backed it up. He never got in front of the ball there. You see the way he just backed away from Ravanelli, say, if you want me, I'll be there. And they get a little unlucky because they think they've cleared it. But the strike was, well, let's just leave it normal. What a good strike.
Yeah.
That was a smashing finish and a great start to the game for us.
Now, Nigel Pearson has either heard what you said or they've conceded it in the Middlesbrough dressing room that it was indeed a penalty.
I think it's a free kick, as I've said to you before. And the close angle will show us exactly what I mean. I think if this takes place from a goalkeeper or anyone chipping the ball forward, then I think you'll find that this happens outside the box. I think this is given as a free kick. I'll concede the point, Richard, that an awful lot of the time you don't get that. I'll concede that point. But that doesn't mean to say it's wrong. But I think if that's outside the box, then that's a free kick.
So that's a penalty in your opinion?
I think it's a penalty.
OK, I think Brian Robson is waiting to talk to us. Can you hear us, Brian? Is he with Nick? I think he's with Nick Collins. OK, let's go and rejoin Nick.
Well, Brian, you just had a quick look at that penalty again. What was your view on it?
Well, I thought it was a little bit harsh. Yeah, I mean, I know Andy's saying that he feels that was a pen there. I mean, players do get their arms up and everything, and it wasn't as if Phil pulled Stewart or anything. You know, it was just he's got his arms up, and Stewart's going nowhere. It's not as if he's going to get a clear header on goal or anything. I thought it was very harsh, and it got Sunderland back into the game.
I was going to say, it came at a time when you'd weathered the early storm and gone ahead, and what, barely 3 minutes later they were back level, weren't they?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I felt that we had decent possession. We were comfortable when Sunderland had quite a lot of possession, but we were blocking up quite well, and they hadn't really made a chance, and so I thought we were going OK, and especially when we get the goal. But credit to Sunderland, I mean, they battled away well, but I was disappointed in our second half performance, you know, especially when we got the second goal. We could have kept the ball a hell of a lot better, and our passing let us down today because we were forcing things too much instead of just keeping the ball.
Why is it that so often when a team has the man advantage, they don't seem to be able to really make it pay?
Well, I don't know, the top teams do. You know, you go 10 men down against people like the Man Uniteds, the Liverpools and that, and they're good at passing the ball and keeping it. And that's what our lads have got to learn from today's game. I mean, we've got a 2-1 advantage. They go down to 10 men. We should have been putting 20, 30 passes together. That's how I see the game anyway.
It was a fast and furious match from start to finish, though. A typical derby, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, expect that in derby games. But that's why I'm saying, I mean, Sunderland did press the ball quite well, but I still felt that we could have passed the ball into midfield, come back to the defence, switched the play, and kept control of the game that way and took a bit of the tempo out of it. But unfortunately, we didn't do that.
All right. Well, Brian, thanks very much indeed. Cheers.
Well, he might disagree on the penalty, but you would agree with what he was saying there about their possession. Yeah,
it reminded me in the second, when Sunderland went down to 10 men, Son, very much of the game we did at St James's between Newcastle and Villa. On exactly the same thing I said about Newcastle. When you've got the man in front, you have to dictate the play. You dominate it, you put passes together. And very much the same way, when they went down to 10 men, Middlesbrough didn't do that tonight. They still, whether they were caught up in the atmosphere of a local derby, and sometimes you can be, and it's difficult then to suddenly backpedal, take your foot off the gas. But I know exactly what Brian was saying. He's absolutely right. To pass the ball about the back, to come across the back again, they're away from home, 2-1 up. Why should it matter?
Make them run. They were 2-1 up, of course. Yeah. Ravanelli eventually found the target. From
the corners, we'd said all night, you and I were saying, they don't look comfortable, Sunderland, when they're defending a corner. To be fair, it took Middlesbrough to, I didn't think they had a corner in the first half.
No.
Took them into the second half. These are the first 2 corners they had. And they almost concede from the first one, Richard. It's just a mass of bodies in there. And to be fair to Middlesbrough, they get players in and attacking it. And you can look at the trouble that Sunderland have got trying to clear that. And eventually, it's a really good save from Tony Coton. But right away, the ball comes back in, and the same thing. They're scrambling, they're all over the place, they can't control it. Well, and he doesn't just miss them.
And no argument at all about the sending off?
No, I don't think so. I think the referee sees what we're about to see. It's an easy decision for him. And there's only one. You step over him like that, but then there's the stamp on the left arm. Nicky Barmby, yeah, is incensed by it. The left foot onto the left arm. Had the referee been the other side, Richard, he might well have got away with it. But obviously the referee's got a good position and he spots it.
So then they're down to 10 men, battling, but find the equaliser for all that.
What a great equaliser. I have to say, goal of the night. Without doubt, it was a smashing goal. Kevin Ball, the captain, well, he deserves a huge lot of credit for that. And it starts way back here with throwing. They go back into their own half. Now, just highlighted Ball here. Now, just watch his contribution. First and foremost, he goes and helps his centre-back. And it's a super build-up. Peter Reid talked about how he was pleased about the way his team passed the ball. Now look at Paul Stewart. He's doing his bit here. He's trying to get an angle to give him something. Go on, hit me. He's going, play me on. I'm there. And then what you want when the ball's coming up to you as a front man, you want someone to be running off you. Now watch the run coming across here. There he goes. Michael Gray. And he's almost through himself. But look at Ball. Watch him. Is he giving it up? He's not giving that up. 1 tackle, 2 tackles. Now he drives up Neil Cox, and from here, well, this is impossible for Vickers. Look at Steve Vickers here. If he goes for that, he knows he's got a chance of scoring an own goal. It's virtually impossible for him to defend that. So he leaves it. Whelan's no position to get it, and what a cool finish that was from
Peter and Love as well.
That was harder than Peter and Love's, I have to say.
Right, coming up from Sky Sports, the Sky Sports Centre, including a major interview with Mark Bosnich. That's the Sky Sports Centre. Next, followed at 10:45 by Tartan Extra. Ready feet for Rangers this weekend, and Celtic have closed the gap. Friday night football this weekend. Oxford against Birmingham from the Manor Ground, 7 o'clock on Sky Sports 3. On Sunday lunchtime, it's Prenton Park for Tranmere against Queen's Park Rangers. That's on 3. And how about this? The leaders, Newcastle United, against the champions, Manchester United, St James's Park, 3 o'clock this coming Sunday on Sky Sports 1. Great night again, thoroughly enjoyable. From Andy and me, it's good night.